Hello students, how are you all? I hope all of you are fine. I am Dr. Upasana Bothakur and I am going to take classes in BIREN'S Academy and for Sociology, OPSC and SSB PGT. So बहुत sir भी कहूथिले बीरेन sir की बहुत enquiry आसीची कि sociology रो classes start करिया पाए तो that's why I am here. So मु तमनको sociology रो जो पूरा entire syllabus टा अच्छी of OPSC and SSB PGT सेटा मु तमनको topic wise मु पढ़ेबी. So आजी जोटा क्लास हो सेटा गुटा just demo class. So आजी मु तमनको गुटा theory पढ़ेबी जैसे हमारे इमाइल डरखाइम he is a famous sociologist तांकर theory टा हमें ठीक पढ़िबा जो तुम्हारे syllabus रे भी अच्छी. But first of all हमें discuss करिबा जो हमारे exam pattern टा कारण SSB PGT and OPSC PGT दुईटा रो syllabus टा same but तांकर exam pattern टा ठीक different अच्छी. आउ एज ए होल तुमने देखिबो कि एसएसबी पीजीटी रो सिलेबस टा बहुत भास्ट 10टा यूनिट अछि 10टा यूनिट रो क्वेश्चन आसीबो पेपर 1 पेपर 2 तो एही हिसाब रे भाबले तो एमते लागिबो कि बहुत भास्ट केमिति माने एटा आमी करबा बट आई एम हियर एंड आई विल गिव यू एश्योरेंस कि मु जो हिसाब रे तुमनको नोट्स देबी पूरा यूनिट वाइज चैप्टर वाइज पूरा तुमनो नोट्स दिया हबो तापरे तुमनकर एमसीक्यूज प्रैक्टिस करैबी तापरे मॉक टेस्ट निया हबो तो से हिसाब रे तुम माने जदी प्रिपेयर करबो तो आई गारंटी कि तुम मानको माने सक्सेस ऑब्वियसली मिलिबो. So without wasting any time, let us first of all talk about the exam pattern for SSB PGT Sociology. So एबे तो यार notification आसीनी तो बहुत जल्दी भी यार notification आसीबो most probably by December or January आसीबो और बहुत post भी बाहरिबो तो सेठी पे जो हमारा एग्जाम पैटर्न टा अछि एसएसबी पीजीटी रो एटा गुटा रिटन टेस्ट हबो आ कैरियर असेसमेंट हबो तो एथरे गुटा कथा अछि कि एथरे भाइबा हबोनी जोटा हमारा एसएसबी पीजीटी एग्जाम हबो सॉरी तो एक्सक्यूज मी तो सेतरे तम भाइबा नै तो सेठी पाए तमनको कोन करिया पड़िबो जो रिटन एग्जाम ता हबो व्हिच विल कंसिस्ट ऑफ 150 मार्क्स. So 150 marks रो तमर MCQ रहिबो so 150 marks रो जो MCQ टा रहिबो से MCQ रे तमको पूरा भलो मार्क्स आनियार अछि तो सेठी पाए you have to focus on the written test. So written test रहिबो हमर 150 marks रो और बाकी जो 50 marks रहिबो सेटा तमर career assessment रहिबो. So career assessment माने तमर प्लस मैट्रिक रे केते मार्क्स आसला प्लस 2 रे केते मार्क्स आसला excuse me तापरे तमरा ग्रेजुएशन रे केते मार्क्स आसला पोस्ट ग्रेजुएशन रे केते मार्क्स आसला तो सब मिसाई कि तमरा एक कैरियर असेसमेंट करा हबो. सो टोटल हमर केते मार्क्स रहिला 200 मार्क्स रहिला. सो 200 मार्क्स रो कट ऑफ भी तमने देखि थबो जो एबे रिसेंटली हमर 1 मंथ फेब्रुअरी मास रे जो रिजल्ट आसिला जो लास्ट एसएसबी पीजीटी हेतला तो सेटर कट ऑफ भी तमने जान थबो कि बहुत हाई कट ऑफ जाउचंदी जनरल माननको पाई स्पेशली 157 158 एतिकी कट ऑफ जाउचंदी. सो कैटेगरी वाइज ऑब्वियसली कट ऑफ ता हमर डिफर करो. सो 100 क्वेश्चंस हमर रहिबो 100 क्वेश्चंस मल्टीपल चॉइस क्वेश्चंस रहिबो पर क्वेश्चन 1.5 मार्क्स कैरी करे आउ जदी हमर रॉन्ग होबो सो नेगेटिव मार्किंग भी अछि सो नेगेटिव मार्किंग विल बी 0.5 मार्क्स फॉर ईच रॉन्ग क्वेश्चन and questions are to be answered in OMR sheets. So eta amar achi और एग्जाम ड्यूरेशन होबो हमर 2 hours. ओके और नेक्स्ट जदी मु कहिबी कि हमर जो ओपीएससी पीजीटी रो जो एग्जाम पैटर्न ता अछि सेटा टिके एसएसबी पीजीटी रो पैटर्न टू टिके डिफरेंट. ओके सो व्हाई इट इज डिफरेंट बिकॉज जोटा ओपीएससी पीजीटी एग्जाम होबो सेठरे हमर तीनटा पेपर थाय पेपर 1 पेपर 2 पेपर 3 एबे रिसेंटली एग्जाम भी अंकर हे जाइछि लास्ट ईयर बट रिजल्ट ए पर्यंत आसीनी बट आई थिंक बहुत पिला माने अपियर करथबे तो पेपर 1 ता हबो कोन इट इज ऑन अ जनरल इंग्लिश एंड जनरल नॉलेज. सो पेपर 1 ता हमर सबले थाके रहिबो जनरल इंग्लिश एंड जनरल नॉलेज व्हिच विल बी यूनिवर्सल अक्रॉस ऑल द डिसिप्लिन्स बट पेपर 2 और पेपर 3 ता जोटा हबो दे विल बी सब्जेक्ट स्पेसिफिक. सपोज जोडी सोशियोलॉजी तो सोशियोलॉजी इकोनॉमिक्स माने इकोनॉमिक्स पॉलिटिकल साइंस माने पॉलिटिकल साइंस सो से हिसाब रे रहिबो. अब पेपर 1 पेपर 2 और पेपर 3 रो सिलेबस ता जोटा तो दैट इज डिवाइडेड इनटू 2 यूनिट्स लाइक पेपर 2 रे हमर 5टा यूनिट अछि पेपर 3 रे भी 5टा यूनिट अछि तो टोटल हमर 10टा यूनिट रहिला. सो टोटल मार्क्स केते हैला एबे 300 मार्क्स होला हैला का व्हाई बिकॉज पेपर 1 रे 100 मार्क्स, पेपर 2 रे 100 मार्क्स, पेपर 3 रे भी आमार 100 मार्क्स रहिला. सो सॉरी तो टोटल क्वेश्चंस आमार केते हैला 300. और एग्जाम ड्यूरेशन भी हबो आमार 2 आवर्स ईच फॉर ईच पेपर. माने पेपर 1 पाई 2 आवर्स, पेपर 2 पाई 2 आवर्स, पेपर 3 पाई भी 3 आवर्स 2 आवर्स. एंड जो जो मैंने लास्ट ईयर ओपीएससी पीजीटी एग्जाम टा अपियर करछन्ती से माने जानी थबो कि सेम डेट रे हुए ना. जेमति सोशियोलॉजी रो लास्ट ईयर जोटा जस्ट जो एग्जाम टा हेतला तो गोटाए दिन रे हमर पेपर 1 टा हैला, तापरे किछि दिन परे पेपर 2 होला, तापरे किछि दिन परे जायकी हमर पेपर 3 टा हैला. तो सेमिति भी होछि का कोन होछि मॉर्निंग रे पेपर 1 हे जायछि, तापरे पेपर 2 3 इवनिंग हे जायछि. तो सेमिति भी होछन. तापरे नेगेटिव मार्किंग ऑब्वियसली एठी भी रहे 1/4 मार्क डिडक्टेड फॉर ईच इनकरेक्ट क्वेश्चन. और क्वालिफाइंग मार्क्स भी हमर दरकार कि एटलीस्ट पेपर 1 रे 33% रिक्वायरमेंट अछि कि एते हबा दरकार, ताहले तमे क्वालिफाई हे परबे. अकॉर्डिंगली कट ऑफ मार्क्स आसीबो आ से हिसाब रे तमर सिलेक्शन हब. नाउ नेक्स्ट मु कोन करबी एबे हमर जो सिलेबस टा अछि, क्योंकि मु कहिथिले कि एसएसबी एंड ओपीएससी पीजीटी रो सिलेबस टा सेम 10 टा यूनिट, पेपर 1 पेपर 2 एमटी करी डिवाइड अछि. 10 टा यूनिट अछि, पेपर 1 रे भी 5 टा यूनिट, पेपर 2 रे भी 5 टा यूनिट. सो जोटा हमर पेपर 1 हबो से थरे फर्स्ट यूनिट 1 अगर जदि हम देखिया तो यूनिट 1 रे हमर फर्स्ट इज सोशियोलॉजिकल कॉन्सेप्ट्स. नाउ को भी डिसिप्लिन हमें पढ़िले कॉन्सेप्ट्स आर वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, क्योंकि दैट इज द कॉन्सेप्ट्स व्हिच टेल अस or help us to understand the discipline. So terms and concepts. So these are the basic terms and concepts of sociology. First is society, then we have community, then we have religion, culture, norms, values, social control, socialization, social stratification, social being, social change. So एगुड़ा होइछि हमर concept. So these concepts of sociology are very important. अब मु जेबे तम मनको ए concepts गुड़ा पढ़ाइबी तो मु कोन करिबी गोटे concept, जेमति suppose I am teaching you society or suppose I will teach you community. So first what I will do, I will give you the basic definition of society. Society माने कोन, society रो basic जो characteristics अछि से characteristics गुड़ा मु points हिसाब रे तम मनको देबी. तापर मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेंट तमे माने देखिबो कि बहुत टाइम एग्जाम रे कोन अछि बहुत डेफिनेशंस आसे. माने एग्जाम रे डेफिनेशन दे देबे, ए डेफिनेशन ता चारटा ऑप्शन देबे कि हु हैज गिवन दिस डेफिनेशन. तो सेठी पाई मु कोन करबी कि हर एक माने सब जो टॉपिक रहिबो कि सपोज सोसाइटी, कम्युनिटी, इंस्टीट्यूशन, एसोसिएशन, सो एवरी सब टॉपिक रो जोटा मु पढ़ेबी तमको ता डेफिनेशंस भी प्रोवाइड करबी. ऑब्वियसली 5-6टा डेफिनेशन. सपोज इंस्टीट्यूशनल डेफिनेशन जमती मैकाइवर एंड पेज रे देचंती बा ओगबर्न एंड निमकॉफ रे कोन डेफिनेशन देचंती, दरखाइम कोन डेफिनेशन देचंती. सो सब डेफिनेशंस भी आई विल ट्राई टू प्रोवाइड, बिकॉज डेफिनेशंस रो बहुत क्वेश्चंस आसे. तापरे सोशलाइजेशन रो देयर आर द डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ सोशलाइजेशन, प्राइमरी सोशलाइजेशन, सेकेंडरी सोशलाइजेशन, एडल्ट सोशलाइजेशन, रीसोशलाइजेशन. सो ए गुड़ा तार मीनिंग कौन, तापरे who if any thinker who is associated with the term socialization, what are the definitions of socialization, what are the agencies of socialization. तो ये सबू आमे पढ़िबा. तापरे social stratification. Now what is social stratification, what are the definitions of social stratification, who are the thinkers who are associated with social stratification. तापरे social stratification और theoretical perspective ता कौन, functionalist perspective कौन कोचंती, conflict perspective कौन कोचंती. sorry. So ए गुड़ा आमे ए social stratification जेबे पढ़िबा से टाइम रे पढ़िबा. तापरे social change. Now what is social change, what are the different theoretical perspectives of social change. Social change रो हमर दुईटा theory अछि, one is the cyclical theory, the other is the evolutionary theory. So ए दुईटा भी हमें देखिया. तो evolutionary theory रे who are the thinkers associated with evolutionary theory, who are the thinkers associated with cyclical theory. तो ये सबू मु तमनको प्रोवाइड करिबी नोट्स रे, आउ से हिसाब रे हमें पढ़िबा. एक्सक्यूज मी. तापरे यूनिट 2 ता देखिबा. यूनिट 2 इज सोशियोलॉजिकल पर्सपेक्टिव्स. सोशियोलॉजिकल पर्सपेक्टिव्स रे हमें पढ़िबा हिस्टोरिकल एंड सोशल कॉन्टेक्स्ट ऑफ द इमर्जेंस एंड ग्रोथ ऑफ सोशियोलॉजी. So this is also very important. Now को गुड़ा discipline, suppose economics हला बा political science हला, education हला, तार गुड़ा origin हेतला, yes, मान तार growth गुड़ा हेतला. तो which year sociology, I think all of you know को year है हमार sociology आसितला 1839. So 1839 is the year in which the birth of sociology took place. एंड आम समस्ते जानीचु कि आगस्ट कम इज कॉल्ड एज द फादर ऑफ सोशियोलॉजी ये समस्ते जाने आगस्ट कम किए ही इज कंसिडर्ड टू बी द फादर ऑफ सोशियोलॉजी ना एतिकी ठीक अच्छे बट नाउ वी नीड टू ऑल्सो नो कि व्हाट आर द फैक्टर्स दैट वर रेस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर द ग्रोथ ऑफ सोशियोलॉजी एज अ डिसिप्लिन तो आमार तीनटा फैक्टर्स थिला now what are the three factors they are the enlightenment तापरे थिला आमार फ्रेंच रिवोल्यूशन and thila amara industrial revolution. So these are the three factors that were responsible for the growth of sociology as a discipline, as an academic discipline. So egura kon, what is enlightenment, what is French revolution, what is industrial revolution, who are the early thinkers that were responsible for the growth of sociology jemte ame August kon porilu August kon sangre Saint Simon bhi achi tapore tamara Durkheim achi Karl Marx achi so एमती बहुत थिंकर्स अच्छी who were responsible for the growth of sociology as a discipline they were the early sociologists so तांको विषय रे हमें पढ़िबा तापरे हमें किछि perspectives भी पढ़िबा these are the theoretical perspectives of studying sociology first is the structural functional perspective conflict perspective humanistic perspective symbolic interestness perspective now syllabus रे हमें symbolic interestness perspective त दिया है नहीं but still से मु पढ़ेले से symbolic interactionist perspective टा भी briefly मैं तुमको कहिबी because that is also very important but नुआ गुड़ा perspective दिया है ची humanist perspective so हमें ये perspectives गुड़ा भी पढ़िबा now structural functional perspective से who are the thinkers who are associated with this perspective now structural functional perspective रे हमारे Emile Durkheim आसीबे Radcliffe Brown आसीबे R.K. Martin आसीबे Levi-Strauss आसीबे so ये माननको विषय रे हमें पढ़िया पड़िबो what are the key concepts or definitions or things that they have talked about conflict perspective jebe hi amar mind ko ase ame khali kon bhabbe Karl Marx but is Karl Marx the only thinker who has talked about the conflict perspective no Karl Marx सहित आम बहुत सारा thinkers भी अछंती जे conflict perspective विषय रे काम करछंती वा कहउछंती जेमति हमर हेला Ralph Dahrendorf तापरे लुइस कोजर Randall Collins Antonio Gramsci तो ये माने हेला हमारा न्यू मार्क्सिस्ट तो सेगुड़ा भी हमें टिके टिके ये पढ़िबा ह्यूमनिस्टिक पर्सपेक्टिव बेसिकली इट्स टॉकिंग अबाउट द वेलफेयर ऑफ द ह्यूमन बीइंग्स अ ह्यूमनिस्टिक पर्सपेक्टिव विल सरप्राइज टू नो कि सी राइट मिल्स आई थिंक तुम मैंने सुनथबो सी राइट मिल्स पीटर बर्जर दे ऑल आर एसोसिएटेड विथ द ह्यूमनिस्टिक पर्सपेक्टिव तो सेटा भी हमें ब्रीफली म तुम मानको एक्सप्लेन करे देन नेक्स्ट जदि हमें यूनिट 3 टा देखिबा so unit 3 is wholly based on research methodology so whatever discipline is सब discipline रे गोटा research research means what research is something which help us to find facts yes or no कारण किछि गोटा कथा मु कहि देली कि हां sun rises in the east so that is the universal fact we should also try to prove it आम proof केमिति करिबा how will prove our मु जोटा कहि छि सेटा सत्य न मिछ I'll prove it through my research through facts through finding data yes or no so for that we have this research methodology and sociology रे भी हमर गोटा research methodology अछि specific steps हमें follow करे specific types of data हम पखरे अछि that is quantitative data qualitative data now as sociology सेटा भी गोटे डिबेट अच्छी कि जो हमारा अर्ली थिंकर्स थिला जेमति इमाइल डरखाइम अगस्ट कम से माने कोन कोटला सोशियोलॉजी को साइंस कोइतला बिकॉज द टर्म सोशियोलॉजी इज डिराइव्ड फ्रॉम टू वर्ड्स सोशियस एंड लोगोस नाउ सोशियस मीन्स सोसाइटी एंड लोगोस मीन्स स्टडी ऑफ सो देयरफॉर सोशियोलॉजी इज द साइंस ऑफ सोसाइटी आउ सेटार भी फैक्ट আছে सो सेटा गोटे डिबेट हमर चले कि वन इज द पॉजिटिविस्ट अप्रोच सो गोटा थाय हमर पॉजिटिविज्म Now what is positivism? Positivism will talk about science. कि sociology is a scientific discipline. आउ गोटा अछि हमर hermeneutics or interpretative approach. So hermeneutic approach ta कौन कहबे कि no sociology is a science but it's a social science. It's a unique science. Now why it is a unique science? Because whatever methods we use to study science that methods cannot be applied to study sociology. Now why? Because amar jo subject matter it's quite different yes or no our science physics chemistry biology ए सब रे हमें कम पढ़े ए सब रे हमें एटम मॉलिक्यूल ए सब पढ़े आ ए सब हमें लैबोरेटरी जाई के एक्सपेरिमेंट करि परिबा और एक्सपेरिमेंट करले आमर जो भी फैक्ट्स या थ्योरी बाहर दैट विल बी यूनिवर्सल बट व्हेन वी टॉक अबाउट सोशियोलॉजी now sociology re amar subject matter is what we study here human beings yes or no ami human beings ko pade now human beings are what subjective beings na we are not objective beings we are subjective suppose mu gota research kariya ko gale to mu 10 jana ko gota question pacharli so whenever I ask a question to 10 people I'll get 10 different viewpoints 10 different answers yes or no so that will be what subjective that is subjectivity. So sociology is subjective but still we try to establish objectivity in sociology. How we try to establish objectivity in sociology? By becoming less biased. So mu jodi jone researcher so I'll try to maintain what value neutrality. Mu jai ki mor nijor jo preconceived notions ya beliefs e sabu achi mu sei sabu mor research re anibini I'll try to be away from that from my own bias and personal beliefs. So then I can be to some extent objective but not fully objective like a scientific discipline. So seta hei pariboni to ei sabu hi ame padiba ki mane amar theory और research मझे क्या कौन link अच्छी या relation अच्छी theory and facts कौन concept what is reliability what is validity what is research design research करिया पे हमें बहुत सारा steps थाए what is the research blueprint what is hypothesis what is sampling obviously mu jodi kahibi ki mu gender inequality upore study karibi to obviously then I have to select a small sample na sample means what it will be a representative of the entire universe to mu jodi guta I select suppose Odisha state mu suppose Odisha state re jai ki gender inequality study kariya ko chahuchi so is it possible for me as a researcher to go and study each and every state district of Odisha alone no it's not possible तो मु कौन करी Odisha करी तो मु मोर थ्योरी टा कौन करी टिके narrow down करी sampling करी that is known as sampling तो suppose मु करी कि मु 1000 या 100 women को मु जाई कि research करी ये जो 100 women हबो that will be a representative of the suppose मान लो मु गोटा district select कर देली मु कटक district रे मु research करी आ कटक district रे मु कौन करी मु 4टा ब्लॉक नेबी और 4टा ब्लॉक रे मु कौन करी 20 ना 5टा ब्लॉक लेबी और 5टा ब्लॉक रे मु 20 20 20 मु एमटी सैंपल नेबी तो ये 20 20 मिसाई कि मोर 100 हला सो दिस जो 100 वुमेन हबो दिस विल बी माय सैंपल फॉर माय रिसर्च which will be a representative of the entire Katak. So in that way I will do my sampling. So that is sampling. तापरे मोर जो methods रहिबो मु को हिसाब रे मु रिसर्च करिवि जो ये 100 वुमेन हला मु तांको केमिति रिसर्च करि मु तांको जाय कि क्वेश्चनर देबी मु तांको इंटरव्यू करिवि ने मु जाय कि फोकस ग्रुप ये करिवि मु कोन करिवि so that is the methods or the what to say research tools through which I will conduct my research. So say guda me padiba ki what are the research tools that can be also observation qualitative quantitative duita thai. Now quantitative obviously means numbers quantitative jebe ame koiba it means numbers and when we talk about qualitative it means which is something which cannot be described in numbers. Jodi mu pacharibi kaku ki domestic violence upore suppose mate research kariyar achi so that is a very qualitative type of research yes or no setare to mu pachari paribi na kete kon number exact number mate kuho so that is not possible so in that way we use qualitative research techniques so obviously sociology re ame duita it's a combination of quantitative and qualitative methods and scaling techniques bhi achi that is nominal scale interval scale ratio scale so a scale guda me padiba Likert scale Bogard scale so these are statistics some statistical data जो analyze हमें करिबा हमर जो data ता हमको मिलिबो data ता को हमें analyze भी करिबा ना analyze केमिति करिया through the help of these techniques through the help of these scales so एगुरा भी हमें टिके पढ़िबा then next unit 4 is classical sociological tradition जो मु कहिली कि हमर जो classical sociologists थिले who were the early sociologists who were responsible for the establishment of the discipline. So first is Emile Durkheim. So Emile Durkheim is a very important thinker or last after discussion of this syllabus Emile Durkheim को मुतमनको और टिके पढ़ाइबी. So Emile Durkheim is rules of sociological method, division of labor, theory of suicide, theory of religion. So these are the four main theories which Emile Durkheim has talked about. So anko bisare ame poriba. Tapore Karl Marx, as I have told you, he is a conflict theorist, and he has talked about dialectical materialism, historical materialism, materialistic interpretation of history, alienation theory bisare kochandi, class struggle, neo-Marxism. Yes, sabu bisare Karl Marx has given his theory. So a Karl Marx and Emile Durkheim, and also yanko sangere Max Weber, he is also considered to be a classical sociological thinkers, although it's not there in your syllabus re nai, but jo pore ame alga concept padiba, bureaucracy ba kon authority, to sei sabure amar Max Weber bisare amako anyway padiha padibo, ba religion bisare jodi padilo sei bisare amar Max Weber bisare padiha padibo. So therefore Max Weber ko bhi mo a syllabus re alpo ye korigi cover kora habo. Then unit 5 is modern sociological foundations. So seta ami 4 re porilu classical sociological tradition. Now we'll talk about the modern sociological foundations. Now with the modern thinkers we can say. So modern sociological foundations ra ami functional theory ta poriba, jaise mo aguru ami portilu functionalist perspective. To functionalist perspective re amar R.K. Martin bisare porihar achi, Talcott Person achi, Tuman achi, Davis and Moore achi. So emane kon kohunti functionalist theory bisare. Now Davis and Moore and Tuman jebe ami poriba tamane MA ba masters bachelors re pori thabo ki Davis and Moore jo de thila they gave the functionalist theory of stratification. Aur se functionalist theory of stratification ko Tuman kon kartile taku criticize kartila. So what is the book name, what is the year in which this theory came, what are the important concepts they have given. R.K. Martin re bahut concepts achi. Yes, choto empty concept achi. Sei sabu concept am poriba. Talcott Person, social action, social types, motivational orientation, value orientation. So emiti choto bahut concept achi. What are the different types of books he have talked about. AGIL model bisare kochandi. E sabu ame amar eta class re cover kariba. Then comes conflict theory. So conflict theory mu jemiti tamanu kohutili ki it's not about only Karl Marx. Conflict कहले आम mind रे खाली आसुची कि Karl Marx, but Karl Marx सहित भी आम बहुत सारा thinker अछि. Now when we talk about George Simmel, some might be confused कि George Simmel केमिति conflict theories से आसीगला, but George Simmel is also under conflict theories. So George Simmel भी बहुत सारा concept कोचंती. George Simmel, you will surprised to know he is also the father of urban sociology. Yes, urban sociology भी George Simmel भी सारे आमे पढ़े. और ये भी बहुत सारा कॉन्सेप्ट दिए टाइप्स ऑफ ग्रुप्स कथा कहते सोसिएशन कथा कहते. देन लुइस कोजर इज टॉकिंग अबाउट द फंक्शंस ऑफ सोशल कॉन्फ्लिक्ट. देन रेल्फ डेरेनड्रॉफ अथॉरिटी विषय कहते, सुपरऑर्डिनेशन, सबऑर्डिनेशन, डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ ग्रुप्स विषय रेल्फ डेरेनड्रॉफ कहते. तांकरे ये सब थिंकर्स रो वन मोर थिंग आई एम टेलिंग मु सब तांकर बुक्स दैट इज वेरी इंपोर्टेंट. को बुक से माने लिखी चंदी एटा भी मु प्रोवाइड करिवि तमनो along with year. Now why year is important? क्योंकि एग्जाम रे एमती क्वेश्चन आसबो कि you will be provided given 4 books, okay, and then it will be asked, you have to arrange it in a chronological manner. Now chronological manner रे माने suppose to first रे को बुक ता पब्लिश हेतला ता परे को बुक ता पब्लिश हेतला, तो chronological order रे तुमको जदि अरेंज करने को कुहा हुए तो ऑब्वियसली यू नीड टू नो द ईयर. यस नो, और जदि तुम ईयर टा न जानिबो तो हले केमिति अरेंज करिवो. सो देयरफॉर आई विल प्रोवाइड यू ऑल द बुक्स. सिमेल रे को कोडा बुक लिखि चंदी, लुइस कोजर, डेरेन रेफ, मार्टन, टेलकट पर्सन, ट्यूमेन. So all the books along with the year of publications will be provided, and also the important definitions and the important concepts. Then comes the world system theory. Now world system theory re Immanuel Wallerstein, he has talked about the world system theory. World system theory re he is talking about ki the entire world is divided into 4 zones. They are core, periphery, semi-periphery and external countries. So पूरा जो हमार world टा अछि 4टा ये रे zone रे divide हेछि. One is core countries, the second is periphery countries, third is semi-periphery countries, and fourth is the external countries. And how this is related to the theory of underdevelopment. It basically asibo tomara theory of underdevelopment. when we talk about theory of underdevelopment, तो आउ किछि थिंकर्स भी ए साथ रे जोड़ी जिबे जेमति गुनार मृडाल हला एंड्रे गुंडा फ्रैंक हला समीर अमीन हला तो से माने भी ए थ्योरी ऑफ अंडर डेवलपमेंट रे अंको संगरे इमानुएल वालेस्टाइन संगरे जोड़ी जिबे तो ऑब्वियसली से तांको विषय रे भी मु टिके टिके तमनु नॉलेज प्रोवाइड करिवे then these are important phenomenology ethnometrology so these are very important because these are the theories which come from the interpretative perspective now interpretative sociology kiye deichi na jehetu aguru tamaku max weber bishay re classical sociology thinkers re diya heini but max weber ta jodi ame bhalo kori pori no poriba then it will be very difficult to understand what is phenomenology and what is ethnometrology because from interpretative sociology only this phenomenology ethnometrology symbolic interactionism ए सबु जो theory अछि सेगुरा ताठु ही आसीछि सर सो phenomenology रे हमर एल्फ्रेड सूट्स अछि ethnometrology रे हमर गार्फिंकल अछंती so what concepts what are the theories what are the different books they have written what are the small intersubjectivity माने कोन empathy माने कोन what are the different techniques or methods that are used तो ये सब ए थ्योरी माने हमें पढ़िबा देन एक्सचेंज थ्योरी ना एक्सचेंज थ्योरी कहले आई भाबा हु इज द थिंकर एसोसिएटेड विथ एक्सचेंज थ्योरी रे हमें पढ़िबा पीटर ब्लो देन वी हैव जॉर्ज होमन्स सो ए दुई जन थिंकर्स हमें एक्सचेंज थ्योरी रे हमें पढ़िबा then comes postmodernism अब postmodernism विषय जब कहवा तो बहुत थिंकर्स हमारे अच्छे postmodernism हमें कहले सबसे फर्स्ट आम माइंड रे किए आसुचंती फुको ये सुनो फुको then we have Baudrillard is talking about what simulation simulacra Foucault is talking about postmodernity history of sexuality he has written lots of he has given lots of concepts तो से गुड़ा हमें देखिए Baudrillard भी बहुत concept देचंती तापरे हमर आउ फेडरिक जेमिशन अच्छी तापरे डेरिडा अच्छी फुको अच्छी तो ये सब थिंकर्स जो अच्छी पोस्ट मॉडर्निज्म रे आसीबे तो आई विल ट्राई टू प्रोवाइड यू 5-6 thinkers who has talked about postmodernism, their key concepts, their key books, whatever books they have written, what are the key concepts they have given, and in which year the book is written. And आउ गोटे कथा मने रखिबो सेटा मो मेंशन करिया भूली गेली कि जेबे हमें जने थिंकर को पढ़िबा ना तांकर प्लेस टा भी मने रखिया बहुत दरकार कारण एमिटिया क्वेश्चन भी हमको देखा जाए कि दिया हबो कि मैच द थिंकर विथ देयर प्लेस ऑफ बर्थ सपोज हमें जानछु कि इमाइल डर्कहाइम वाज अ फ्रेंच सोशियोलॉजिस्ट मैक्स वेबर वाज अ जर्मन सोशियोलॉजिस्ट सो एगुरा हमको जानिया कथा पेरेटो वाज इटालियन so egura ami jodi no janiba to how can we match with the place so therefore the place in which year they were born in which place they were born what are the books they have written in which year the books have been published what are the key concepts they have given and try to understand the concepts so etiki jodi ami kariba to obviously amara selection pai bahut high chances rahibe then critical sociology so critical sociology jodi ami kaiba that is the Frankfurt school of critical sociology रे भी सॉरी दुईटा वेव्स अच्छी फर्स्ट जोटा थिला सेठरे हमर मैक्स हॉकेमर थियोडो एडोर्नो तापरे तमरा वाल्टर बेंजामिन एरिक फ्रॉम यस हार्बर्ट मार्क्यूज सो ए माने हमर फर्स्ट जोटा 1923 रे जब एस्टैब्लिश हेतला फ्रैंकफर्ट स्कूल टा तो से टाइम रे ए थिंकर्स गुरा विषय रे हमको पढ़ियार अछि तबरे जो सेकेंड वेव ता हम जब देखिया से टाइम रे हमर के थिंकर्स आसीबे हेबामास इज कंसीडर्ड टू बी द सेकेंड फाउंडिंग स्कूल ऑफ द क्रिटिकल सोशियोलॉजी तो हेबामास विषय रे हम पढ़िया सो हेबामास भी को कांसेप्ट देचंती ही इज टॉकिंग अबाउट modernity he is talking about the different types of communicative action and this critical sociology is nothing a type of neo Marxism भी हमें कही परिबा because they are criticizing they are after Marx neo means they are adding some आ गोटे कथा गोटा हेची पोस्ट गोटा हेची नियो जेमिति हमें कोए पोस्ट मॉडर्निज्म neo-Marxism. तो ता मझे भी difference आसी. Neo means we are adding something new points to the existing theory. Now when we talk about post means we are criticizing the earlier theory. The post-modernism, post-structuralism. तो structuralism theory ता हमें जब criticize करी कि हमें post-structuralism देलू. But when we are talking about neo-Marxism, neo-functionalism, neo means हमें जो existing theory ता थिला सेठा हमें किसी new things include करचू. So that's why it's known as neo. तो सेगुड़ा हमें पढ़िबा. Then comes paper 2. So paper 2 रे हमार कौन अच्छी. First of all unit 1 रे जो हमें देखिया that is the perspectives of Indian society. तो एबे हमें जो पढ़िलु paper 1 रे that were the western sociologists, western thinkers. Now we are talking about specifically about the Indian sociology or Indian society. So when we talk about Indian society, some Indian जो sociologists थिले like M.N. Srinivas, D.P. Mukherjee, Andre Bete, David Hardiman, B.R. Ambedkar, so से माने भी किछि perspective दे थिले to study the Indian society. So we are going to study that perspectives in this unit. So first is the Indological or textual perspective. So सेठरे हमार G.S. Ghure आउ Louis Dumo विषय हमको पढ़ियार अछि. And I think all of you know G.S. Ghure is considered to be the father of Indian sociology. Yes or no? Because it was he who was responsible for the establishment of sociology as an academic discipline in India. And I think एतिकी तो तुम मैंने जानते हो कि सबुठु first हमार sociology department ता केबे establish हुई थला, in which year, in which university? It was first established in 1919 in Bombay University. Okay, Bombay University रे हेतला first department of sociology. आउ से टाइम रे सर पैट्रिक गिड्स करी कि जने थिला ब्रिटिश टाइम रो ही जने academician थिले. So he established the department of sociology in Bombay University in 1919. And after that in 1924 it was G.S. Ghure. He took over and he became the head of the department of sociology in Bombay University. So सेठी पे हमें G.S. Ghure को father of Indian sociology बोली भी कुहे. Okay. Then Louis Dumo विषय भी पढ़िथबो. He is talking about the caste society. He से जो जगह रे study करथला से South India रे study करथला Pramiller Color करिकी गोटा community अछि Tamil रे तांको विषय रे study करथला caste system विषय रे study करछे holism and hierarchy विषय रे कहउचंती homo hierarchicus तांकर important book अछि. तो ए सब हमें पढ़िबा. And G.S. Ghure he is considered to be a father of sociology and Indian sociology, and तांको इंडोलॉजिकल अप्रोच या टेक्चुअल अप्रोच रे एटी पे रखा है छी बिकॉज से फील्ड वर्क को बेसी प्रिफर कर नथले. से जो भी स्टडी करथले इट वाज ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ टेक्स्ट, रिटन टेक्स्ट एंड डॉक्यूमेंट्स. सो रिटन टेक्स्ट माने जो हमारे होली टेक्स्ट थिले जेमती रामायण महाभारत थिला बा जो भी टेक्स्ट थिला से टेक्स्ट को डिपेंड करी कि जो भी स्टडी से करंती से दैट्स व्हाई इट्स नोन एज द इंडोलॉजिकल और टेक्चुअल पर्सपेक्टिव. Second comes the structural functional perspective. तो structural functional perspective से हमारे जो thinkers अच्छी they were the M.N. Srinivas, S.C. Dubey. ठीक है, M.N. Srinivas and S.C. Dubey. So M.N. Srinivas was a student of G.S. Ghure. So whenever we are going to study these thinkers, we are also going to study the thinker in their individual तांकर biography तक हुए हमको पढ़िया पड़िबो. जेमति G.S. Ghure को मैं पढ़ाइली. So G.S. Ghure when he was born तांकर education कोडी हेथिला सी को बुक लिखिथिले से कोठो इन्फ्लुएंस हेथिले तापरे से जो ये कॉन्सेप्ट्स को कॉन्सेप्ट्स इंपोर्टेंट से कॉन्सेप्ट्स देइचंती. सो से हिसाब रे हम तांको स्टडी करिबा एंड व्हाई ही इज कंसीडर्ड टू बी एन इंडोलॉजिस्ट. सो से हिसाब रे हम पढ़िबा. तो M.N. Srinivas भी जेबे मैं पढ़ाइबी. सो M.N. Srinivas फर्स्ट तांकर जो बायोग्राफी कि when he was born, in which place he was born, what are the important books he has written, what are the important concepts he has given, like dominant caste, Sanskritization, westernization. So ये जो concepts गुरा the meaning कौन and why he is considered to be a structural functionalist. So ये हिसाब रे हमें ये topic टा cover करिबा. Then S.C. Dubey रे भी तांकर जो basic biography टा सेटा हमें देखिबा. What are the important books he have written, what are the important concepts he have given, सी कोड स्टडी करथला, in which village he conducted his study, detail. So this question कैसे मतलब केमिति भी आसी पारे, yes or no? Then Marxian perspective रे हमर अछि डीपी मुखर्जी, AR देसाई and RK मुखर्जी. तो तांको विषय रे हम पढिबा कि डीपी मुखर्जी कोन कहिसंती, AR देसाई what he is talking about, how he is connected with the Marxian approach, what are the basic books they have written, what are the basic concepts they have given. Yes, so in that way we are going to cover this. And subaltern perspective, that is the subaltern ka meaning kya hai? What is subaltern? The view from the downward. One is the upward perspective, jo Brahmins or the upper caste people jota tankara perspective ta alka. But subaltern perspective is view from the below. View from below. Jo below, from that means the Dalit perspective we can say. Because Dalits are what? They are considered to be the people who are at the lower grounds of the hierarchy. Yes, because they are the lowest of the caste hierarchy. So tankara viewpoint ta kon hobo in the society. So that is the subaltern perspective. Anko pore amar achi David Hardiman, B.R. Ambedkar. So B.R. Ambedkar to all of you know, he is considered to be the tanku to mane Dalits manonko pai he has done a lot of things. He have written lots of books. He was also a member of the Constituent Assembly. He was the first Law Minister of India. He has written lots of books. He has formed many political parties. Yes or no? So lot of work he has done. He has given many concepts. Caste bisayare se kouchandi. So ye sabu amaku padhiyar achi. David Hardiman be similarly Debi upore tankara kamo achi. So how he is considered to be from the subaltern perspective, what books he have written, to ye sabu ame ei unit re dekhiya. Then unit 2 ta hela composition of Indian society. Now obviously Indian society jodi ame koiba, India is what we have, it's a multicultural society. Therefore we have unity in diversity. So we have lot of linguistic groups. Every state have a language. Yes or no? We have how many states? 28, 29 states. So every state have their own language. So we have a lot of linguistic groups. We have number of religious groups, although Hinduism is our biggest religion that we follow in India. But still, along with Hinduism, we have Islam, we have Christianity, we have Jainism, we have Buddhism, we have Sikhism. They are the minority religions. Then we have different ethnic groups, tribal groups. We have different cultural groups, pluralism in Indian society. Yes, and because of this unity, there is also diversity in our society, but still we have also some type of problems in our Indian society because lot of diversity is there. Nothing is similar. Homogeneity to nahi, sabu heterogeneous. So ye jo heterogeneity achi, seti pai amar sometimes there might be difficult to maintain unity in our society. So because of which there might be challenges to national integration. Samasto ko ekathi kariki chaliba, samasto ko mane provide equal opportunities. So that is a challenge because one rule will not be applicable to all. Yes, something which is applicable to Hindus might not be applicable to the Muslims or the Christians. So therefore, there might be some challenges in nation building or to maintain that unity. And what are the challenges? That is communalism. Now what is communalism? Communalism will be fight between two communities of mainly belonging to different religion. जो हमारे हुए कि हिंदू मुस्लिम राइट है, हिंदू मुस्लिम राइट है, हिंदू क्रिश्चियन राइट है, मुस्लिम क्रिश्चियन राइट्स है, तो that is communalism. Now what is communalism? Who are the thinkers who are associated with communalism? Yes, T.K. Oman bisara mein padhiba, then Satish Sabarbar achi, Dipankar Gupta achi. So lot of these new thinkers are there who have talked about communalist perspective. Then we have linguism. Linguism means on the basis of language also there might be what? There might be fights among the people. Reasonalism. Now what is reasonalism? Now we consider to our reason to be the base. Suppose mo northeast bisare coach. Ki northeast ko hame kon kaiba? We will consider northeast to be best or northeast, or maybe on the basis of our ki amar jo location da, northeast people always feel ki we are very much discriminated from the center. Now why we are discriminated from the center? Because our location is very much in the mountainous region, or maybe we are not that much कम्युनिकेशन या ट्रांसपोर्टेशन एते भलो ना सो से आमको कौन हो सब बेले नॉर्थ ईस्ट पीपल फील करे कि आमको सेंट्रल लोक सब बेले आमको डिस्क्रिमिनेट करके रखुचंदी सो दैट टाइप ऑफ फीलिंग इज नोन एज रीजनलिज्म फीलिंग yes then terrorism to all of you know only we have lot of terrorism when recently also we had these attacks in Kashmir so all this can also be considered to be social problems also so this also we are going to study. Then we have unit 3 that is rural sociology. So rural sociology basically deals with village India. Yes, village India. Village India re kon heichi, who are the thinkers who are associated with this. First of all, we'll go about in this way ki ye jo rural sociology is a branch of sociology and how it emerged and how it developed. तो ता विषय रे हम टिके देखिबा कि तार इमर्जेंस केबे हेतला तार डेवलपमेंट केबे हेतला हु आर दी thinkers who are associated with rural sociology सेटा हमें देखिया तार इम्पोर्टेंस कौन इंडियन कॉन्टेक्स्ट में हमें रूरल सोशियोलॉजी काहे पढ़ुछु रूरल एंड एग्रीरियन सोशल स्ट्रक्चर रे कौन अछि अगर रूरल सोसाइटी को हमें जीवा तो सेठी भी गोटा रूरल स्ट्रेटिफिकेशन अछि मालिक किसान मजदूर सेटा हमें कुहे जेमिति फॉर एग्जांपल किछि किछि थिंकर्स अछि जेमिति डेनियल थॉर्नर देन वी हैव डी.एन. धनागरे A.R. Desai and Ray Bete. So, ये माने कौन करचंदी? They are working on the village studies and they have given the rural classification or rural or agrarian classification. Village studies re Ray Bete, he is even now alive. He was he is like maybe actually Ray Bete, maybe he is now 99 and above. He was a professor of Delhi School of Economics. Yogendra Singh passed away. Yogendra Singh has also talked about village studies. He has written many books like Modernization of Indian Tradition and Modernity Biswara Konte. And M.N. Srinivas, he has worked in the Rampura village. Mackim Marriott, he has also worked. Robert Redfield, he is also working. He has also worked in the village life in India. India re asi ki ko village re se mane kaam korchune. Suppose emti question asibe epote diya haba M.N. Srinivas. Then you will have Andre Bete, Yogendra Singh, then you have Mackim Marriott. Epote village naam gora diya habo. So you have to match. So this type of questions will also come. So whenever we are going to study a particular thinker in the context of rural sociology, so then obviously we are going to suppose Andre Bete पढ़िबा. तो Andre Bete रो obviously मैं biography ता आगे पढ़िबा. Biography ता पढ़िला परे हमें देखिया कि whatever the important books he have written along with the year of publication. Then we are going to also talk about कि को village रे से काम करथिला को की concepts से develop करचंती तो से हिसाब रे हमें पढ़ले so ये जो short एमितिया जो questions पूरा आसीबो then we can be able to attempt that questions. Then also the major social major rural institutions पढ़िबा जेमति caste system. What is caste system? Kinship, family, religion, change, agrarian social structure, peasant movements, legislation, emerging trends. तो ये सब जो rural society संगे associated अच्छी caste system. Now caste system पढ़िले तो बहुत तंगर अच्छी. What are the different types of caste? What are the origin of caste? What are the theoretical perspectives of the origin of caste? Who are the thinkers who have associated with caste? तो ये सब हमें ये unit रे पढ़िबा. Then unit 4 टा है social change theories, linear theory, cyclical theory. So social change as a concept was also there in the beginning. So एटा एबे आउट होरे अछि तो एठारे हमें टिके ताको elaborately हमको पढ़िया पड़िबो कि what is the linear theory of social change, what is the cyclical theory of social change. Now when we talk about linear theory or the evolutionary theory of social change, who are the thinkers associated with? For example, August Comte, Emile Durkheim, Henry Morgan. तो ए माने linear theory रे जिबे. Cyclical theory हमें जबे कहिबा तो then Pareto, then we have Pareto, Mosca. So ए माने हमार cyclical theory of social change रे आइबो. Toynbee. So they will all come under the cyclical theory of social change. Then conflict theory and functionalist theory of social change. So conflict theory obviously Karl Marx, Dahrendorf, ए माने ऐसे functionalist theories रे भी हमार Durkheim, R.K. Martin, Radcliffe Brown, ये मैंने देखा. Concept of development, nature of social and human development, changing paradigms of development, what is sustainable development? So development, sociology of development करके तो गुटे हमार separate discipline भी अच्छी. So that we don't have to go in detail कि sociology of development पूरा मैंने से sub topic तो हमें जीवार नहीं, but to some extent we need to know what is social development, what is human development, and now new topic is come, what is sustainable development. Now sustainable development is something which is associated with environment. Okay. Then perspectives on development. What is the ecological perspective? What is the liberal perspective? What is the Marxian perspective? What is environmental and development debate? तो ये सब हमारे ये social change जो unit टे अच्छी से unit रे हमें ये सब topics कुरा discuss करिबा and try to give you lots of MCQs क्योंकि ये गुरा जो topic अच्छे these topics are very much हमें कोई बात कि जनरल नॉलेज बेस भी है आउ दे आल्सो चेंजिंग कारण इकोलॉजिकल एंड डेवलपमेंट डिबेटा कोन हो सेटा नुआ नुआ भी तार पर्सपेक्टिव्स गुरा आसे तो सही हिसाब रे आई विल ट्राई टू प्रोवाइड यू मटेरियल ऑन दैट बेसिस then we have the last unit, that is globalization and society. So what is globalization? Globalization is the very emerging topic. What is globalization? Economic globalization. In sociology we not only talk about economic globalization, we also talk about cultural globalization, we also talk about social globalization, then political field of globalization. Now, globalization generally means what? The whole world is becoming one community where we are trying to break all the bonds, and this is possible only because of what? Development of ICT, information and communication network. Now I am giving you a YouTube class. So this is the result of what? Information technology. Now I am here in Bhubaneswar or Odisha, but you all might be present in different parts of the world also. Then also you can see my class. So how? So in that we are connected. So this is because of globalization. Globalization ke karan we are all connected. Yes? Okay. Then we have to also see the dimensions of globalization. Now what will be the dimensions of globalization? Now dimensions of globalization there are the 3 dimensions of globalization we have to study. Now what are they? There is the hyper-globalist dimension, spectacle dimension, transformationalist dimension. So 8 dimensions kuda hame padiba. Then economic, sociological, technological, cultural. Then also we have the different global institutions like IMF, that is the International Monetary Fund, WTO, World Trade Organization. So this World Bank. So a gura questions asithila ei borso jo SSB Pgt na OPSC Pgt re asithila ki what is the headquarter of the World Bank, what is the headquarter of the WTO. तो ये हिसाब रे हमारे ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस गुरा टिके पढ़िया पढ़िया तांकर हेडक्वार्टर कोडी अछि को ईयर रे तांकर एस्टैब्लिशमेंट हेतिला, व्हाट आर द ऑब्जेक्टिव्स, व्हाट आर द फंक्शंस ऑफ दैट ऑर्गेनाइजेशन. तो ब्रीफली ये गुरा हमें डिस्कस करिया. Then states of social impact, Indian context, liberalization, privatization, new economic order. So India re amar LPG. What is LPG? Liberalization, privatization and globalization. So LPG India re kebe asila? In the year 1991. So 1991 रे हमारे मनमोहन सिंह थिले कौन फाइनेंस मिनिस्टर. तो सही टाइम रे एलपीजी लिबरलाइजेशन ग्लोबलाइजेशन प्राइवेटाइजेशन एंड ग्लोबलाइजेशन टा आसिला इंडिया रे. सेटा आसिला पड़े इंडिया रे तार कौन इम्पैक्ट हला? व्हाट इज द सोशल इम्पैक्ट ऑफ ग्लोबलाइजेशन, व्हाट इज द इकोनॉमिक इम्पैक्ट. तो ये सब भी हमको देखिया पड़े. एंड व्हाट इज द न्यू इकोनॉमिक ऑर्डर, व्हाट इज द लेसेस्ट फेयर पॉलिसी, व्हाट इज कैपिटलिज्म, व्हाट इज सोशलिज्म. सो ये सब हमको देखिया बिकॉज इन इंडिया वी हैव अ mixed economy. Now what is mixed economy? It's a combination of both capitalism and socialism. Okay, so briefly I'll talk about, so that was the syllabus. So ये 10टा unit जो है एबे briefly मो जो तमन्ना संगरे एबे share कर ली. So that is the brief syllabus of SSB and OPSC PGT. And in that way जो मो जो हिसाब रे मो तमन्ना कहिली कि ए हिसाब रे पढ़ेबी, ए हिसाब रे notes provide करिबी. Now aji tike mu Emile Durkheim jota, he is a very important thinker. Tanko bishay re tike briefly aji class re tike kahi dauchi. So Emile Durkheim, he was a French sociologist. Okay, he was a French sociologist. He was born in the year 1858 and he died in 1917. And these are his important books. So ye chronologically wise, I have providing you the different books of Emile Durkheim. First is the division of labor in society, 1893. The rules of sociological method, 1895. Suicide, 1897. On the normality of crime, 1895. Primitive classification in collaboration with Marcel Mauss, 1903. Elementary forms of religious life, 1912. Education and sociology, 1922. Sociology and philosophy, 1924. Moral education, 1925. Socialism, 1928. Pragmatism and sociology, 1955. So एगुड़ा जो book अच्छी 1922 परे जो books गुड़ा अच्छी सेगुड़ा was published posthumously. Posthumously means after his death, because he died in 1917 na. So he died in 1917, but after his death also this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 books were published posthumously. So Durkheim was a French sociologist who rose to prominence in the late 19th and early 20th century. So along with Karl Marx and Max Weber, he is regarded as the principal founders of modern sociology. I told you that these three thinkers, Karl Marx, Max Weber and Emile Durkheim. So these three are considered to be the principal founders of sociology because they are the classical sociologists. They are the classical sociologists, and tankara birth and death also almost similar. Karl Marx or Max Weber, their year of birth and year of death, almost they were contemporaries. He formally established the academic discipline of sociology, so he is known as the academic founder of sociology. Now, why Durkheim is considered to be the academic founder of sociology? Now, Durkheim is considered to be the academic founder of sociology because it was he who established sociology first in the France education system. France curriculum re sabu pratham re Durkheim hi thile je sociology ko establish karthile. So therefore he is considered to be the academic founder of sociology. And he also first established the European Department of Sociology. और तांकर गोटे जर्नल अच्छी ली सोशियोलॉजिस्ट से जर्नल ता भी सीए लिखिछन्ति. So his philosophy and method. Now here briefly तुमको जदि कहबी Durkheim sociology को गोटे साइंस हिसाब रे ट्रीट करथिला. जेमिति हमर अगस्ट कॉम थिले अगस्ट कॉम भी सोशियोलॉजी को साइंस कहउथिला. अगस्ट कॉम भी कहउथिला पॉजिटिविस्ट अप्रोच फॉलो करिया कि साइंटिफिक methods use करिवा to study the discipline of sociology. So in the similar manner हमर Durkheim भी जो थिले सीए भी कम त्र steps follow करथिले और कम त्र step follow करेकी कहिथिले कि हमें भी sociology को ए गोटा scientific discipline हिसाब रे establish करिवा और हमें भी sociology को गोटा objective scientific discipline हिसाब रे ताकू पढ़िबा. And for that he said he developed different methods to study sociology in a very scientific manner. So Durkheim adopted a scientific method of study the social phenomena. और तांकरो जो ये बुक टा अछि rules of sociological method, rules of sociological method clarifies the subject matter of sociology and the steps for understanding sociological phenomena. So ये जो rules of sociological method जो बुक टा अछि ए बुक रे हमर Durkheim रे कोन करथिला पांचटा स्टेप देथिला. ये जो पांचटा स्टेप जदि हम फॉलो करिबा तो स्टडी एनी पर्टिकुलर सोशल फेनोमेना सपोज मु आज रिलीजन बा एडुकेशन बा अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट बा डोमेस्टिक वायलेंस किछि गोटे टॉपिक विषय रे स्टडी करिया को चाहूची. नाउ व्हेन आई एम गोइंग टू स्टडी अ पर्टिकुलर टॉपिक एनी टॉपिक रिलीजन एडुकेशन व्हाटएवर सो आई हैव टू फॉलो दिस 5 रूल्स. ए पांचटा रूल्स जदि मु फॉलो करिवि आ से टॉपिक ता स्टडी करिवि तो जो मोर outcome ta hobo it will be very objective and scientific. Now let us see what are the 5 steps or 5 rules that Durkheim is talking about, and also the subject matter. What is the subject matter of sociology according to Durkheim? Now for him the subject matter of sociology is social facts. Social facts are the subject matter of sociology according to Durkheim. Now what are social facts? Social facts का example can be anything. Social facts can include a social institution such as kinship, marriage, or it can include a religion, political organization, anything. We account for anything with interaction of members of the society that can be a social fact. But how can we identify whether a particular topic is a social fact or not? ताको हमें identify केमती करिवा. ताकू आइडेंटिफाई करिया को हमको तीनटा factor अछि, that is E, C, G. Now E means external, C means constraining, and G means general. A tinta what to say characteristics को जदि हमें follow करिबा देखिबा तो हमें जानिबा कि एटा social fact or not. Now for example मो आजि religion, ठीक अछि, religion को मु study करिबी. Now first of all मु देखिबे कि religion हमर social fact ने नाही. Now for that मु देखिबे कि religion external or not. Now what is external? Now external is something which is outside the individual control. Now external is something which is not in our control. Now religion गोटा एमिटिया जिनिस जोटा it's in existence in society since time immemorial. So even if today I am dying, मु जदि आजि न रहिबी ताहले भी religion सबदिन रहिबे ना समाज रे. तो I as an individual cannot influence religion. But religion can influence me, but I don't have any control on religion. So therefore religion is external. External the outside, more to bahar is external to the individual. So that is external. So therefore religion is external. So first point clear. Now second point is constraining. Now constraining means कि I as a individual don't have any control on religion. मु religion को control करि परिबिनी. मोर किछि ये नाही. आजि जदि मु न रहिबी ताहले भी religion रहिबो. मु जन्म हबा आगुरु भी religion थिला समाज रे सबदिन थिला. तो मोर किछि control नाही religion. Therefore religion is external. But religion has a control on me. Religion रो मो ऊपर control अछि. Yes. So that means religion that means religion is constraining. Religion मते control करि परिबा. Yes, बहुत कथा अछि जेमति आमे चप्पल पिंडी को मंदिर को जाउनु. आमे छोटो बेलरो हमकु सिखा हेछि कि मंदिर बा ठाकुर देखिला आमे एमति नमु करे. तो ए सब हमकु सिखा हेछि. तो that is control. Yes, different religion को our marriage is not allowed. You have to marry within your own religion. Yes. So all these things are what is telling that religion is controlling you, but you in return don't have any control on religion. So therefore religion is constraining. Okay. Then last is religion is general. Now what do you understand by general? Now general means religion is in existence all over the world. Yes, India में भी religion है, America में भी religion है, Europe में भी religion है. Everywhere there is religion. So therefore religion is also general. So these three factors, whenever they are fulfilling, so that means it is a social fact. Now what is a social fact? Social fact is a subject matter of sociology according to Emile Durkheim. Fine. Now to find out whether a particular social phenomena is a social fact or not, we have to look at these three characteristics. First is external, second is constraining, third is general. ये example हमें अलगा example नहीं की भी करी परिबा. Suppose हमें गोटा religion रो example नहीं छु, suicide रो example नहीं परिबा, education रो example नहीं परिबा, family marriage किसी भी example नहीं परिबा. से सबु जो अच्छी social phenomena, they are all social facts because they fulfill these three characteristics: external, constraining, and general. Okay. So therefore social facts are values, cultural norms, social structures that transcend the individual and can exercise social control. Transcend means jota amma hatere kichi nahi. It is beyond us. So that is transcend the individual and can exercise social control. So thus the main characteristics of social facts are external, constraining, and general. Okay. Then next comes the steps. I told you he has given 5 rules. 5टा rule कथा कहउछन्ते कि जदि हमें 5टा rule follow kariba to study a social fact, so then my study will be very objective and scientific. Okay. Sort of first rule is rules for the observation of social facts. The first and the most basic rule is to consider social facts as things. Now, suppose this is a pen. So this pen is a very objective thing. Na? Ye ek thing hai. Now what do you mean by thing? Thing matlab it does not have any own individuality. Yaar nijaro kichi nahi. It's a thing. और मु याको जेमिति ट्रीट करिबी एमिति रहिबो. So it's a thing. It's very objective. Yes. So this will establish empiricism and objectivity in sociology. So thus when sociologists undertake to investigate any social fact, he must strive to consider them as a from a viewpoint from where they present themselves in isolation from their individual manifestations. जेबे मु ए पेनटा पढ़ी पेनटा या फिर मान लो मु गोटा सोशल फेनोमेना सपोज आई एम स्टडीइंग रिलीजन ओनली तो रिलीजन को मु गोटा थिंग हिसाब रे ही ट्रीट करिवि आ मु निजरो जो पर्सनल बायस या ओपिनियन बा व्यू पॉइंट जोटा अछि बा वैल्यूज अछि से सब मु किछि मोर स्टडी रे पुट करिविनी. आई विल ट्राई टू मेंटेन माई सेल्फ एट अ डिस्टेंस. इंडिविजुअल जो भी मोर अच्छी से गुड़ा मु डिस्टेंस रे रखी कि मु से जिनसटा गुड़ा थिंग हिसाब रे भाबी कि मु ताको स्टडी करिवि. जो फैक्ट्स मिलिला से फैक्ट्स गुड़ा मु एनालाइज करिवि. So that is the first rule. So in that way I can establish what? Objectivity in my study. When I am studying a thing, I am collecting the facts, I am analyzing the data, and I am keeping myself away from my own personal opinion and bias. So therefore I am maintaining an objectivity in my study. Now second rule is rules for the distinction of the normal from the pathological. Now sometimes what happen कि जो social facts होते हैं वो दोनों it can be a normal or pathological. Now what do you understand by pathological? Pathological means abnormal. Pathological means abnormal. Okay, abnormal. Normal, abnormal, all of you know. Now Durkheim says कि it depends. Now for example, एक गुटा example देले तमे भलो के बुझी पाइबा. Now what is homosexuality? Now when we talk about homosexuality, it was considered to be what? An abnormal thing. कि मान लो एटा भाबा होतला कि लोकों को किछि बीमारी अछि, so therefore they are attracted to the same sex people. But that was in the previous time according to the phase of development. जब माने आगर टाइम रे एबे नो. It was during the maybe before the 18th-19th century से time रे थिला. But एबे जो हमें 20th-21st century we are in the 20th-21st century, so now we don't consider homosexuality to be abnormal, do we? No. Now homosexuality has become normal. So that only he is saying कि social facts को हमें एमिति देखिया कि whether it is normal or abnormal, and that depends on the phase of development of a social species or the time. और एक एग्जाम्पल है कि collective conscience was a very normal fact in the primitive societies but becomes pathological in the industrial societies. Obviously, because in the primitive societies the society was very much what? Homogeneous. सब कुछ similar था. It was very homogeneous, so there was no collective consciousness was very high. But now in the industrial societies there is heterogeneity. सब लोग अलग अलग हैं. Obviously अलग अलग लोगों के बीच में collective consciousness इतना ज़्यादा नहीं रहेगा. Yes or no? So that is the thing. So according to time it changes. Like homosexuality was considered to be a abnormal fact during the primitive times, but now in the modern industrial time it is considered to be a normal fact. Similarly, collective consciousness was considered to be a normal fact in the primitive societies, but now it is considered to be a abnormal fact. Third rule is rules for the constitution of social types. So Durkheim called social morphology that part of sociology concerned with the constitution and classification of social types. Now obviously कोई भी एक social phenomena या something will study, we have to also study the different types classification from simple to complex. What are the different types? Let's say if we study unemployment, so unemployment also have different types, right? There are different types of unemployment. So in that way, we have to do this classification also. And that classification is based on the degree of complexity. Now, what is the degree of complexity? From simple to complex. Now, what is simple? What is complex? So in that manner, we have to do the classification. Now, he is talking about evolution. Now, social evolution, how does it happen? From simple, it's in a linear way. So, यहाँ simple होगा, यहाँ complex. So, in that way, our evolution happens. So, for example, he has given this example, a single segment of society is called a horde. Hordes combine to form aggregates which could be called simple polysegmental, consisting of clans within tribes. This combine to form polysegmental societies simply compounded. A union of such societies would result in more complex societies called polysegmental societies, doubly compounded and so on. मतलब ये multiply होता जा रहा है. First it was a single society, then it became a doubly compounded society, polysegmental society, then the polysegmental doubly compounded society. So in this way, classification is happening from simple to complex. So that is the third rule. Then the fourth rule is rules for the explanation of sociological facts. When one undertakes to explain a social phenomena, the efficient cause which produces it and the function it fulfills must be investigated separately. Now obviously, whatever, like suppose we are studying unemployment. Now why unemployment is happening? And here also you must know that the task of sociology is to know the cause as well as the function of a social fact. Yes? Sorry, ये वाला इसमें include नहीं होगा. This, yeah. Okay. हाँ. So the sociologist का task ये होता है कि he should also know the cause. Now why there is unemployment happening in a society, and this cause will also be found in the what? Antecedent social facts. Now why unemployment is happening? Unemployment may happen because of poverty. Unemployment may happen because of illiteracy. Yes, when you are illiterate, you will be unemployed. When you are poor, you might be unemployed. Yes or no? Because you don't get to go to school. So a lot of other factors are there. So whenever we are studying a social phenomena, we also study the cause, why that social phenomena is happening, and what is the function of that particular social phenomena. So both should be studied. And the last rule is rules for the demonstration of sociological fact. So this is, this one. So rules for the demonstration of sociological proof. Now as I have told you, कि Durkheim जो थे, he wanted to establish sociology as a scientific discipline. Now scientific discipline establish करने के लिए we should rely on quantitative data. Now what is quantitative data? Numbers, which is based on numbers. Quantitative data based on numbers. Now when we talk about numbers, then we have to also do statistics. So that only it is here. How you will establish the proof? How you will prove it? So Durkheim tried to establish sociological proof by comparative method. He demonstrated that the one phenomena is the cause of another. Now what is the cause of unemployment? The cause of unemployment is poverty. What is the cause of poverty? Cause of poverty is unemployment. So एक दूसरे का वो cause हो गया. The sociological explanation comprises relations of causality. So the method of concomitant variation gives proofs that relation exists between two variables and the causality is shown. For example, if suicide depends on more than one cause, because in reality there are several kinds of suicide. So Durkheim's famous study is suicide. Now this study of suicide is a suicide study he has done. This study of suicide he has done by following the 5 rules. First, he has considered suicide to be a thing. Second, he has tried to see whether it's a normal or a pathological form. Third, he has tried to do the classification of suicide. He has talked about different types of suicide, yes or no? Egoistic suicide, altruistic suicide, anomic suicide, fatalistic suicide. Then he has talked about the cause of suicide. What are the cause? Too much of integration or less integration, too much of regulation or less regulation, that is the cause. So in this way, he is trying to talk about the causes of suicide. And last, he has collected a lot of statistical data. Europe में उन्होंने study किया था. He has collected lot of statistical data. Married persons commit how much suicide, unmarried persons commit how much suicide, married person with children commit how much suicide, married children without children commit how much suicide. So these are the different numbers, statistics. So with that numbers, he has tried to prove, he has tried to compare, कि हाँ married people with children commit less suicide than unmarried than married children without children. Yes, so in that way he is trying to establish a relationship between two causes, and with the data he is trying to prove and doing a comparative study. So these are the 5 rules. Now whenever we follow these 5 rules to study a particular social phenomena, so then what will happen? Our study will be very scientific and objective. Now why it will be scientific and objective? Because our study will be based on what? Quantitative data. Now what is quantitative data? Quantitative data is based on numbers. I'll do some statistical analysis, and when I'll do the statistical analysis, my number means उसमें कोई subjectivity नहीं आएगा. It will be objective. Yes. So therefore when it is objective, that means my study is scientific. So he identified social facts, he laid down the rules for their observation and explanation, he stressed on social facts being explained through other social facts. For him, explanation meant the study of function and causes. The causes could be derived from the use of comparative method. He demonstrated the nature of these studies through the study of division of sociology as a science of labor in different types of solidarities, types of suicide rates, and the study of religion in a single society. So whatever the 5 rules he have laid down, so through that 5 rules he have done different types of study. The study of suicide is a famous book of Durkheim, so where he is talking about the different types of suicide, what is the causes of suicide. Then he is also talking about division of labor in society. So division of labor, he is talking about 2 types of solidarity, mechanical solidarity, organic solidarity, how the society is evolving from primitive society to industrial society. Then he is talking about the religion, where he is talking about the totemism as the simplest form of religion in the society. So all these things we'll study in detail. So once you join our classes, so I hope कि आपको you liked my demo, whatever I have tried to teach you. So तमने टिके मोटे what to say, I am teaching in Hindi, Uriya and English. So these 3 languages I am using. So if I am not, because Uriya bhi mu padhai parchi, not a problem, but sometimes I am using both Hindi, English and Uriya. So in that way I will try to teach you all. So if you want to join our classes, paid classes, so then you can contact this WhatsApp number to BIREN'S sir, and then we'll very soon start with our paid classes. And I hope you liked my class. So do share, like and subscribe. Thank you.